Thank you for listening. This is Sherry Andrea. This is the uh, guided healing meditation instruction video. I'm going to try to keep it short. There's just a couple of things that I wanted to make sure that you knew before you used it. First of all, the difference between passive and an active meditation. An active meditation would be one where you use a guided meditation video to do it, where you're not just doing it yourself, you're being guided. Another form of active meditation may be a meditative walk, using common things that you do but making them meditative, such as vacuuming the house, washing the dishes, um, knitting. Anything can be turned into a meditative act. I've even heard of Buddhist masters taking a group of students out to an arcade, and that Buddhist master, the whole time he's there with all that noise and the bing, 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 bing from the ping pong machines, from the pinball machines, they're actually in a meditative state still. It is possible. When I first started learning to meditate and trying to learn to quiet my mind, one of the things that I used to do is not avoid noisy situations. Actually, trying to meditate while, for example, the sound of traffic is in the background, or you're in the family room with the rest of your family and they're watching TV and talking loud and everything while you sit there with your eyes closed and actually meditate. One of the I think the best ways to really learn how to quiet your mind is to be in a tough situation like that, where there is noise in your environment and you're trying to not only quiet your mind but let it fade out. Let that background just fade out to the point where you realize you've been meditating for 10 minutes and you really didn't hear it. Like it just kind of faded away in the background. So I just wanted to make sure you know it's fine to use a guided meditation video to get you started. This one is a little bit different because, like I've said, this is a guided healing meditation video. So this is, you're not only going to be meditating, but I'm going to be sending you healing energy at the same time, relaxing healing energy. This is where I'm going to be sending you a healing, clearing, chakra clearing energy. So this video serves two purposes. So it's okay if you want to use it every day. However, let me stress that still, at least once a day, you should be doing a passive meditation where you just sit and you close your eyes. You try to relax, and you try to relax to the deepest point possible. If you know anything about hypnosis and how you're guided in hypnosis to get to a deep, relaxing level, that is somewhat how I would describe what you're going to do in a passive meditation. You are going to try to get to the deepest point possible. Your focus is on nothingness. Your focus is on even trying to get to the point where you no longer feel your body. So this is also, I guess the best way I could explain it is when I used to do it, when I do meditation, I'm trying to get to the point where I no longer feel my body, where I feel what I truly am, which is just a ball of light. It's a very awesome meditation when you can finally get to that point where literally you stop feeling your body. Don't get freaked out or scared if, as you're trying to do it, you start feeling some numbness, like that numbing tingling you get in your legs or your arms. Don't get scared if you start to feel that, unless it's that you are in an uncomfortable position and don't have good circulation. You want to make sure that you have good circulation. You want to make sure, however you meditate, whether it's sitting or laying down, that there's a good flow of energy in and back out of you, which means if you're sitting, you need to sit up fairly straight with a good posture so that you have a good flow of energy. Of course, if you're laying down, that is fine, because some people can lay down and meditate and and this is going to be contradictory, and not fall asleep. However, if you fall asleep, it's okay because you're not really actually falling asleep. I know it sounds contradictory, but actually, when you're meditating and you like drift off and you think you've fallen asleep, actually what you've actually done is something you actually want to do, something you're actually striving to do. You actually end up going to a place which is that exact place that you need to go to, where the most change can come about. So when you do drift off to sleep, don't feel that don't go, oh shoot, I didn't really meditate because I fell asleep. No, you did. You did good. I would even go as far as to say, if you drifted off, you did very good. Um, but we want to try to stay awake. We want to try to get as much time as we can in that meditative state before we drift off. You'll find when you do drift off, the sleep that you have, even though you're not really asleep, it's almost like such a deep relaxing state. I guess you would say that you've went to theta or delta. It's such a deep relaxing state that you would think you're asleep. When you come back to, you generally will feel overly refreshed. So 15 minutes of that you may feel the same as you would with a 3 hour nap, how that might be refreshing. Um, so, I'm going to, you're just going to, your hard job that you have is to try to get used to relaxing yourself, relaxing every part of your body. um, it helps if you maybe, if you need to tense up your shoulders and then let it go, to kind of try to relax it more. Scrunch up your face and then let it go to try to get more relaxed in your face. Same thing with your head. You can kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's like if you scrunch up your face in a certain way, it kind of feels like even your head is like being scrunched up. Same thing with your hands, your feet. Flex your feet and then relax them. Same thing with your legs. Tense the muscles in your legs and then let them go. Relax them. So that you can get all of your muscles, every part of you, even more relaxed. Um, Try to not think of anything. Okay, this is going to sound a little contradictory, but you're going to try to have no thoughts. So as thoughts come to your mind, for example, as you think to yourself, oh, yeah, I need to put another load of laundry in, as thoughts like that try to, come to you, immediately push them out of your head. Tell yourself, yeah, 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 okay, I'll do that later, but for right now, I'm not going to think about it, and keep pushing them away. And they'll keep coming. You just keep pushing them away. Just because they keep coming and you keep having to push them away does not mean your meditation is not effective. It's still effective. The thing is about the thoughts coming, sometimes those thoughts are sometimes your higher self communicating with you. Um, I've only ever probably heard one person speak about this, about how um, pushing those thoughts away, that most people think that everything that they're getting is from their own brain, from their own mind, when actually sometimes it is your higher self speaking to you. Now you might ask the question, well, how will I know? Because obviously those will be, if your higher self is speaking to you, and when I say speaking to you, I mean putting thoughts in your head. Those will be thoughts that you won't be able to easily push away. They'll kind of keep coming back, almost like they're being very persistent. Um, However, you'll notice that thoughts that are of your own brain, coming from your own mind. Those you will be able to push away. So don't get too upset if you're like, well, geez, I can't stop thinking. I can't push these thoughts away, because some of them are not from you. Some of them are coming from your higher self, possibly your guides trying to communicate to you. After all, think about it. This quiet time that you're going to have is the perfect time for spirit to finally get through and finally be able to speak to you, to finally be able to be heard. So, isn't this a perfect time for spirit to kind of jump in there and go, oh boy, now's our chance. Let's try to tell him or her something. So, don't get too, upset or distraught about it if you notice that you're having a hard time pushing away those thoughts. They may be spirit trying to communicate with you, your higher self, the angels, ascended masters trying to tell you something. Now, I'm not telling you to then focus on it, but later on, after your meditation, if you want to take some time and ponder some of the thoughts you had going on during the meditation, that's the time to do it. However, while you're in meditation, you don't want to try to focus on anything or hang on to anything, because you're trying to stay in this relaxed, I'm not doing anything, I'm just in this kind of nothingness space. So, okay, if you need to listen to this instructions again periodically, maybe once every couple of months, just to refresh yourself, remind yourself of what you're trying to do, feel free to listen to the video, as often as this video as often as you need to. Now, the guided healing meditation video, we're going to be getting right into it. So there will be no instructions at the beginning of it. We're going to just go ahead and jump right in. So make sure before you start the video, try to make sure you're in a comfortable position. Make sure that you're wearing loose clothing. It's a good idea to make sure you've had enough water that day. If you haven't had water for a few hours, take a couple of sips of water, not too much, so that you won't, in the middle of doing the meditation, have to pause it and go to the bathroom. That's the other thing. Go ahead and go to the bathroom before you start the video. You're trying to make sure that you won't be interrupted with anything, because I guarantee you, the way the brain works, the minute you start the video, your brain's going to go, oh, now is when I'm going to tell you you've got to go to the bathroom, or that, your stomach's going to start growling. During the meditation, please try to ignore the things that start happening. It's amazing how the brain works. It's not unusual for all of a sudden you're trying to meditate, and all of a sudden now your brain is sending out the hunger pain signals. All of a sudden your stomach is gurgling, making all kinds of weird noises you've never heard it make. It's amazing what the brain tries to do to us when we just want it to be still. Okay, well, I've talked long enough. So go ahead, if you're ready now, and listen to the guided healing meditation. Thank you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're looking for me, SherrySpeaks.com. And I look forward to any comments that you leave me. Okay. Thank you. Namaste.